Devin never agreed to anything that fast. He always had a but what about, always had to negotiate until he felt like he had won something. Saying yes without a single question meant he had already decided to break one of the rules, and was only agreeing to get me in the room. I hung up and looked at Nadia. He's bringing her anyway. She did not argue. Then we'll be ready for that too. I spent the 2 days preparing. Every text printed and clipped into a folder. The voicemail where Sharon called me dramatic saved twice. The exact words Devin said the night he threw me out, written down verbatim, because I knew he would try to sand them into something softer. Agnes drove up the night before, and Saturday morning she settled into the rocking chair with Macy against her chest. You don't owe him anything in there. Not one tear, not one apology. Say what you need to say, and come home to your daughter. Nadia was already at the coffee shop, at a corner table with her laptop open like anybody working on a Saturday. I took a table in the middle where I could see the door. Devin walked in at exactly noon, thinner, tired in a way that was not about sleep. He was wearing the dark blue shirt I bought him for his birthday. He sat down and put both hands flat on the table to show me how calm he was. You look good, he said. I did not return it. You said you wanted to talk. Talk. Something flickered across his face like he had expected an opening he could build on and had to start from zero. Then he ran the script. He made a mistake. He had been going to counseling. He wanted to be a father to his daughter. He understood now why I was hurt. I've changed. I let him get through every word of it because I wanted him to finish, so nothing that came after could be blamed on me cutting him off. When he stopped, he watched my face like a kid waiting on a grade. Then I asked him one question. Whose idea was it to throw me out? He froze. More like a glitch, like his brain was loading a response and could not find it. It was mine. I was angry. I wasn't thinking. I shook my head. Try again. He stared at the spot between his hands long enough that I could hear the blender behind the counter. Then quietly he said, my mom said you needed to be humbled. She said if I let you come and go as you pleased, you'd walk all over me. She said putting you out for a night or two would remind you where you belonged. I had suspected it for months, from the second Sharon picked up that first call already knowing what had happened. But suspecting a thing and hearing it out loud are different weights. Then his eyes filled. Not angry tears, the soft kind, built to make you feel something. See? It wasn't even me. She was in my ear the whole time. I'm a victim here too. Come home and we'll cut her off together. It'll be different. He reached for my hand and I pulled mine into my lap. He had taken the worst thing he could admit and flipped it into a new role. Not the controlling husband, the victim son. All he needed was for me to feel sorry for him, and he would have me back in that house inside a week. I kept my voice even. You are 31 years old. You packed a bag. You opened the door. You watched me walk out 7 months pregnant. Your mother did not do that. Your hands did that. And you stood there waiting for me to cry, because that is what you wanted. The tears stopped like a switch. Something harder came through. The same thing I saw the night he set the bag down. So that's it? You dragged me 3 hours out here for nothing? I came so you could say your piece and never tell anyone I didn't give you a chance. We're done. I stood up. Walking out, I felt clear, not angry, not sad, just clear. Nadia closed her laptop and followed 30 seconds behind me. I was reaching for my keys when I saw the second car 2 spots away with the window down and Sharon sitting in the passenger seat. She had been there the whole time. She got out, dressed like she had picked the outfit that morning knowing she was going to corner me in a parking lot. You think you can take a man's child and disappear? That baby is a duff. She belongs with her family. She is with her family, I said. The ones who didn't throw her mother out. The coffee shop door opened behind me and I knew it was Devin before I turned. 2 of them, one of me, the exact thing I had made a rule against. I told you not to bring her. He shrugged. He actually shrugged. She's my mother. She has a right to be here. Sharon laughed the way people laugh when they want you to feel small. Call whoever you want. We're going to court. We're going to tell a judge you ran off with a newborn and hid for months. I wanted to yell. Yelling was the whole point of standing in that lot. It was the thing she could carry back to church and repeat. So instead, I took out my phone, opened the folder I had spent a week building, and held the screen up where she could see it. This is every text your son sent me the night he threw me out. I scrolled slowly so she could watch them go by, one after another, dated, in his own words. This is the voicemail you left my mother calling me dramatic. This is the text where he told me I'd learn fast. This is the one the next morning telling me to enjoy my tantrum. I scrolled again. You want to go to court? I have been ready for court since the night your son set my bag by that door. Her face went tight. Not angry tight, scared tight. The kind that happens when the thing you were counting on, the other person not being prepared, turns out not to be true. I watched the confidence drain out of her while her eyes moved down that screen. Devin stepped in with his hands up. Okay, nobody's going to court. That's not what this is about. But Sharon did not know how to back down. She pointed a finger at my face. You are a selfish, ungrateful girl. My son gave you everything, and you threw it away because he asked you to take a few days to think. He didn't ask me. He told me, and you told him to do it. He admitted it 20 minutes ago, sitting right in there. I pointed at the window, at the table. Sharon went still. Then she turned to Devin, and the look on her face was not aimed at me anymore. You told her that? Her voice was sharp enough that he took half a step back and started talking fast the way he always did when he was caught. Mom, I didn't. She twisted it. I was just trying to explain. None of it landed. She was furious that he had gone off script. I told you not to say anything about that conversation, she said, loud now. Loud enough that a couple walking to their car turned to look. I told you to stick to the plan. I heard it. Nadia heard it. The couple across the lot heard it. Sharon had said out loud, in front of witnesses, that there was a plan. Not the situation. Not what happened. The plan. Which meant the night he threw me out was a plan. And the smear calls and the custody threats and the gift bag were all part of it. And she had confirmed it because she was too angry at her son to remember I was standing there. I did not say anything else. I walked to my car and started the engine. The last thing I saw in the mirror was the 2 of them 3 feet apart, her finger in his face where it had been in mine, arguing with each other like I was already gone, because I was. The lawyer called that evening while I was warming a bottle. She had gone through everything I sent. This is not a close call. The documentation is exactly what a judge wants to see. His own words from that night, his mother's messages, the dates lining up. Then she told me something I did not know. She had a contact familiar with the attorney Devin consulted, and that attorney had looked at the same picture and told him he had almost no chance at custody. His own lawyer told him to settle. He isn't going to fight this. He can't. All those months of Sharon promising court, and the man she was promising thinking it through, had already been told to stand down. 3 quiet days later, Devin called and his voice was flat. No tears, no script. My lawyer told me I'm not going to win this. I let the silence do its work. I just want to see my daughter. I chose the words carefully, because this was not a conversation. It was a boundary. You can file for supervised visitation through the court. I won't block it, but I'm not arranging it privately. I'm not bringing her to your house, and Sharon is not present at any visit. If you want to be her father, you go through the process. You do it as a visitor in her life, not as someone who decides where she sleeps. You lost that the night you packed my bag. The line was quiet so long, I checked whether the call had dropped. Then he said the most honest thing he ever said to me. I didn't think you'd actually leave. I know, I said. That's the whole problem. He asked if there was any chance for us, and I said no, and he did not argue. He asked if I hated him. Hate takes energy. Hate means you are still tied to someone by something strong enough to keep pulling. I don't hate you, Devin. I just finally see you. And I'm not letting my daughter grow up watching her mother get put out like luggage every time her father doesn't like what she said. He hung up without saying goodbye. Sharon called Agnes the next morning, and for once she was not yelling. Agnes said her voice sounded small. I just want to know my granddaughter. Agnes told her. Then call my daughter and apologize. Not to me, not through Devin. You tell her you told your son to put his pregnant wife on the street, and you ask her, not demand, if she'll let you into that baby's life. Right now you're the last person she trusts, and you earned that. Sharon went quiet and hung up. She did not call me that day, or that week, or that month, and I did not chase her. That night I sat in the guest room with the hall light spilling through the half-open door the way Macy liked it. Nothing in that room matched. The crib was second-hand, a different wood than the rocking chair Nadia squeezed into the corner after moving her desk into the hall closet. The yellow blanket was from Agnes, the white one with the stars from Nadia. It looked nothing like the nursery I tried to build in his house, the one with the matching furniture and the shelf he said could wait, but every piece of this one was here because somebody wanted me here. On the laptop beside me was a lease application for a 2-bedroom 10 minutes away, a room for me and a room for Macy, and a front door only I had the key to, the deposit coming out of the savings account he never knew existed. I opened his contact, deleted the name and the little heart emoji I put there years ago, and typed something else in. In my phone, he is saved as Macy's father. The duffel is still folded in his hallway closet.